Hi everybody, this is LaShawn, also known as Shooty Girl. I wanted to take a moment to do this video because I've been getting a lot of questions on Facebook and Twitter and text messages, lots of inquiries about what I'm doing. I started a juice feast about 30 days ago. I turned 40 30 days ago and wanted to do something really drastic for my health. So I decided to start juicing. Lots of people call it a juice fast. I choose to call it a juice feast because it's much more positive. And I've been getting a lot of questions about how it's going and how am I feeling. So I wanted to take a moment to talk to you about everything that I'm doing. As I said, about 30 days ago I turned 40 and wanted to really try and cleanse my body, detox my body, clear my skin, focus on getting rid of a lot of cravings, bad cravings that I had for sugar and carbohydrates, lots of different things. And so this has been life-changing for me, this juicing journey that I've been on for this period of time. So really quickly, I want to show you what I've been doing. This is my juicer. This is actually a GE 800 watt juicer from Walmart, $49. And the reason that I didn't go on the high end with juicers is because I honestly didn't know how committed I was going to be in starting this journey. So I didn't want to put a whole lot of money into, one of the high-level juicers. I realize, I'll hear it from especially those that are more seasoned juicers, that you get more for your money when you get the higher end juicers because it extracts more juice. I totally get that. But in the beginning, when I started this journey, I didn't know if I was going to finish it. I didn't even know how far I was going to get. So I didn't want to put a whole lot of money into it. So that's why I opted for this. Since that time, I realized I'll probably need to upgrade. I'm probably going to be looking at purchasing a Breville, which is in the neighborhood of about $130, $150 to get more for my money. So this juicer has worked really well for me over the past almost 1 month, and so this is what I'm using. This is what I'm doing. It, for me, has not been really complicated and really expensive in terms of making this lifestyle change. People talk about, oh, you can only get organic foods and you have to add all of these different things to it and you have to get a high-end juicer. For me, I didn't do any of that. I got the cheap juicer. I went to an organic grocery store, Wegmans, which is very common here on the East Coast. I also went to farmers markets. I also went to our Dutch Amish market to get my fruits and vegetables. So it has not been expensive for me at all. I took a trip last week. I actually took my juicer with me because I was that committed, especially at this point, on making sure that I finished the journey. And it's not been difficult for me at all. So I'm going to show you what I've been doing, and then I'm going to talk about how I've been feeling. So what the foundation for me with juicing has been, in terms of what I'm putting in my juice, has been ginger root. You can see that there. Lemon, which is very critical, especially for those who don't necessarily like the taste of green. The lemon will kick it out for you. And then also kale. These four things, in addition to cucumber, are really the base of where I start all my juicing. So I'm going to start juicing right now for you. What I generally try to do is put the ginger and the lemon in first, only because they're probably the most potent in terms of flavor. So it kind of sets the tone for everything else that's going to go in after. So it's going to get noisy here for a moment, but bear with me. So that is all it takes to juice. I'm going to clean up a spill really quick here. I still have juice coming out. Generally, I drink this entire container here. This is about 32 ounces. When I pour it into my glass, I usually get a little bit left over. If you have pulp, I usually just throw that out. Most of the higher end juicers have the filter where you won't get any of the pulp at all in your glass. So if I get some, depending on what I'm juicing, I just spoon it out. And then I just stir it up. Kind of mix everything that I've been working on together. And of course, I have to represent my Shooty Girl. These beautiful glasses were custom made for us by Rhonda Cave. So I pour that. And as you can see, I can almost get my container transferred into my glass. Doesn't always work, but sometimes it does. So this is what I do. I juice 2 greens per day and 1 all fruit juice blend per day. I generally do my fruit juice blend in the morning, only because for me, fruit puts weight on me after like around noon. I really can't handle fruit because obviously it's got a lot of natural sugar. So I really try to stay away from fruit anytime after 12 o'clock. So this is what I do. I'm going to taste this one for you now just so you see that I'm not going to gag or anything because it's not disgusting. So people often ask me, what does it taste like? Green juice, for me, always tastes like a fresh salad with lots of fixings on it, healthy fixings, with lemon squeezed on top of it. That's what it tastes like for me. So if you're a salad eater, you're not going to have a problem juicing. If you like the taste of fresh vegetables and fruit, you're not going to have a problem juicing. For some people, they'll do the entire juice feast as I've done. I've not done any solid food or chewing for the last 25 days. Some people will just add a juice option to a healthy breakfast or lunch or dinner that they're already having, which is what I plan to transition into after I've met my 40-day mark, which is my plan. So how do I feel? For the first couple of days, it was different. I'm not a big eater, even though I've put on weight over the last 2 or 3 years. I'm not a big eater. My problem is that I don't eat. So I work extremely hard. I'm an entrepreneur. I have a rhinestone t-shirt company. I'm constantly working, constantly designing, constantly doing something for a nonprofit organization that I'm also a national board member of. Shout out to all my Mocha moms watching this video. But my problem is not that I eat a lot. My problem is that most of my meals don't start until 3 o'clock because I'm extremely busy all the time. So this takes commitment, but I'll tell you what it takes in terms of preparation. We go to all of, like I said, Wegmans and the Farmers Market and the Dutch Market. We go to all of those places and we cut everything up, put it in these plastic containers. So everything is always ready for you. So all my fruits, my vegetables, anything that I want to add to my juice is always ready. And when I'm not at home, what I do is I put my juices in this mason jar. Think about your old grandmother's preservatives. I know my grandmother's from Louisiana, so she used to make figs and all kinds of jelly and great things like that. And she would always put them in these mason jars because it has a tight seal. There's no air that gets into it. So all of the research and the studying that I've been doing about juicing tells me that if you juice and you leave your juice sitting for an extended period of time, it loses all its nutrients. So you don't want all that money that you've just spent on fruits and vegetables to go down the drain. So store them in these mason jars. When I'm traveling or when I'm busy, when I know I'm going to be out and about, I store them in these mason jars so I can make sure I'm prepared and have that freshness with me. I'll put them in like a tote bag and put like a small pack of ice container just to make sure it stays fresh. So how am I feeling? I am overflowing with energy, which is something that I can't say I ever had before. Not since becoming a mother and a wife and all of the other things that I have, all the other titles that I have in my life, I'm constantly running on fumes, not having energy to get through my day. Juicing gives me tons of energy. If I'm doing my 3 juices a day and I'm doing lots of water in between, I'll talk about water in a moment, but if I'm doing all of my juicing and my water in between, I have tons of energy. My skin is clearing, my thoughts are clearer. I find myself really being able to focus a lot more. You know, I wouldn't call myself a dumb chick by any means. I'm usually pretty sharp, but there are those days where I feel like my mind is just completely cluttered and I have so many different things going on. For whatever reason, cleaning my body out with juices and fresh vegetables have really cleared up my thoughts. I've lost 27 pounds in the last 25 days. That's been a huge benefit. And if I get a moment, I'll put some before and after pictures up for you. But again, I'm still on my journey, so I don't consider this the after at all. This is the during. So that's basically how I'm feeling. That's how things are going. Where did I get my recipes? That's another big question. On YouTube. I didn't buy any books. I didn't spend any money on finding recipes. I did research, I found them online, and I found them on YouTube. I found other fellow juicers that are doing the same thing that I'm doing, and they threw in lots of recipes on their different YouTube channels, and some I pulled from them, and some I created myself based on what I like to taste. For skin, anything that's leafy green is going to be very helpful. So for me, since I'm a person with skin issues, I throw in as much leafy green as I can, and then I'll throw supplemental things on the top. What you didn't see me juice today is squash. Squash is really, really good in juice. If you don't, and here's the other thing, if you don't necessarily eat a particular fruit or vegetable, don't hesitate on putting it in your juice because it may not taste the same once you've had it blended with all of those other things. So I think that's it. I think that's all I'm going to show you for today. I'm happy to say that now I have my mother juicing. Now I have my sister juicing. My husband, who's filming this right now, hey babe, is coming on the juicing journey with me. My girls, who are ages 8 and 9, they love the fresh blend of breakfast juice that I have in the morning. I'll tell you that recipe real quick. It's watermelon, mango, strawberries, sometimes blueberry, pineapple, and carrots. Very, very good. If you don't like that juice, then I don't know what's wrong with you, because that's better than any candy bar or anything else that you could ever taste. So again, doesn't cost a lot of money, extremely effective, even if you do it for 7 days, even if you do it for 10 days, even if you do it just with your meals that you're already having. Please take a chance and try and juice and see how it makes you feel. So that's all for now. I can't promise I'll do another video. This wasn't supposed to be that long, but thank you for watching, thank you for listening, and thank you, babe, for filming. That's all for now from Shooty Girl.